Welcome everybody. My name is Ainde Oluwatobiloba from Secure Intelligence Limited. I am an SDR. So today webinar, we'll be talking about how you can start a career in tech. And this webinar is brought to you by Secure Intelligence Limited. So before we go further, I would like to let you know some things. This webinar is actually recorded and you can go back to watch the replay of this webinar on our social media platform, such as our YouTube. You can just go to Seek Academy to watch it out. And during this webinar, you can also interact with us. You can use the emoji. And if you like to ask us any question, just go to the Q&A sections to drop your questions. We are actually going to attend to all your questions. So before we go further, I would like to tell you that if you like to book a one-on-one sections with our experts, a link will be dropped in the Q&A section whereby you can just go there and do that. So what is Secure Academy? So at Secure Academy, we provide a hand-on approach to learning that ensure our graduates have the expertise to compete globally. Our program are designed with real-world experience in mind, giving our students the confidence they need to succeed in an ever-evolving technology landscape. Additionally, we are offering support and mentorship to ensure our students have the best possible success. So before I go further, I also like to let you know that if you check the Q&A section, there's a link there to book a one-on-one with us. And we also help you have a global mindset, a multi-cloud competence, agility, and one thing we are also passionate about, we are passionate about your growth. So that's one of the best way things you are going to benefit if you're actually working with us. Going further with this webinar, I would like to welcome one of the best cloud engineer you're actually going to find, which is Mr. Mayowa. He'll be the one that's going to facilitate this program. Mr. Mayowa, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you very much, Oluwatobiloba.
You can have the mic now.
I can hear you. Okay, once again, thank you very much. My name is Oluwamuyiwa. I work with Secure Intelligence Limited as a cloud engineer, and I'll be walking you through starting a career in tech. So on our agenda, we'll be having an introduction. We'll be looking at common mistakes that individuals make when they start a career in tech. We'll also be looking at steps. We'll be giving out steps to help you get started in transitioning seamlessly into tech. We'll be looking at leading jobs in the industry. Next slide, please. So I want to believe that all of us on this call, we are all connected using a computer device, either via your phone, your laptop, or your desktop. They are all being powered via the use of technology, right? And we are all aware that technology is now a fundamental part of our day-to-day lives. We all make use of technology. We are on this call because of technology. We all make use of technology even in our day-to-day operations, either in tech, either in medicine, either in finance, in sports. Technology is being used in our daily operations. And due to this, a lot of consumers of these technology products, they've been requesting for a lot of personalized services and experiences, right? And due to this, based on this fact, there are a lot of organizations out there ranging from small and medium scale enterprises to large organizations and big corporations. They've all understood the fact that there is a need to incorporate the use of technology and technological products in their day-to-day operations. And due to this, there is a need for these organizations, these businesses, individuals to empower individuals out there, and also to like employ individuals, professionals that are competent and capable to develop these technological products and roll out all these technological solutions. Right on your screen, you will see a quote from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, which states that tech roles are in high demand across industries. Employment in computer and information technology occupation is projected to grow 11% from 2019 to 2029. As at when they released this statement, they were estimating that there's going to be a huge growth of 11% in the tech space, in the need for tech professionals between the year 2019 to the year 2029. And I also believe that post 2029, there's still going to be a huge significant need for competent tech professionals globally. Next slide, please. So what are the common questions that individuals ask themselves when starting a career in tech? Some of these questions that you see here were questions that I asked myself when I wanted to transition from a public health role to a role in cloud engineering. Top question on this list is, what skills do I need to start a career in tech? As at then, I wanted to be a cloud engineer. I needed to ask myself this question: what are the skills that is needed for me to be relevant in the cloud engineering space? Do I have to know how to code? This is a very popular question out there because there's this general misconception from people that you need to know how to code before you can get a tech role. That is not true. There are a lot of tech roles that do not require you to write codes, ranging from a lot of them like product manager, GRC analyst, UI UX designer, amongst others. So if you're asking yourself this question that do you need to know how to code, the fact is, depending on what role you want to transition into, that is going to determine if you need to know how to code. Do I need a formal degree in computer science to get a tech job? A lot of people believe that for you to be able to get a role in tech, you need to go to school, enroll in a computer science degree, graduate, and then you can get a tech job. That is not true because, like I stated earlier on, there are different roles in the tech space that do not require you to know how the computer operates. How can I gain practical experience if I'm just starting out? What types of projects should I include in my portfolio? How do I find and secure internships or entry-level positions? How can I balance continuous learning with my job or other responsibilities? And lastly, how can I transition from my current non-tech job into a tech role? So these are questions that I feel could be bothering our minds, and we are going to walk you through on how you can steps that could help guide you to seamlessly transition into tech. We are going to answer some of those questions on this session. Next slide, please. So first on my list, you need to evaluate and understand your current skill set for your target role. I personally believe that this particular phase is what I call the research and planning phase. This is the phase where you gather a lot of information regarding where you are, where you want to be. You need to be able to identify role-specific skills. There are different skills, different roles out there in the tech space that require different skill sets. As a data analyst, you need to be proficient in tools like Tableau because you'll be doing a lot of data visualization. You need to know how Power BI works. Then you also need to be able to investigate the essential technical skills for your desired role before you make a career switch. I was working in the public health space where I was actively working in the HIV/AIDS program. And then I realized that, okay, there's a need for me to I could contribute more by being an engineer. I decided to go through the cloud engineering route. And one of the first steps that I did was to do a lot of research. What are the skills that is needed for me to excel as a cloud engineer? I was not just going to jump into it. I wasn't going to resign from my job and just jump into being a cloud engineer. You need to be strategic about how you go about it. One thing you also need to do is that you need to assess your current skills. This is a form of soul searching. You need to evaluate yourself. Where am I currently? What are the skills that I have? Let's say you want to be a data scientist. You know how to do a lot of analysis with Excel, right? But then you understand that based on industry, what is obtainable in the industry today, you will need more than you just doing analysis on Excel, right? So you need to assess yourself. Okay, I want to be a data scientist. this is where I am. I know how to do analysis on Excel, but then I need to understand how statistical analysis work. I need to learn a programming language, or I need to be able to make use of statistical analysis like apps like Stata, SPSS, and SAS code, right? So you need to be able to assess yourself, identify where you are, evaluate and assess yourself, know where you are, identify the gaps between where you are and the role that you want to transition into. And lastly, you need to prepare for success. For you to be able to prepare for success, you need to have ambition, right? For me, ambition is not something that you can inject, or it's not something that you can copy or imitate from somewhere, right? It is something that is driven by your personal motivation, your desire to learn, your desire to impact, right? So you need to understand the expectations and necessary skills that will help you better prepare for a successful transition. Next slide, please. So, like I said, when I was talking about the questions that people bother themselves with when they want to transition into tech, one of the questions was that do you need to acquire a computer science degree before you can transition into tech? So there are two ways to this. It is either you pursue a degree in that field that you want to go into, or you enroll in a short boot camp or online course like the ones that is being offered by CIL Academy. I came into the academy. I came into the Zero to Techie program, and I will be sharing more about that on the next slide. But for the first step here, you need to be the first step here is that you might want to pursue a degree in a related field. There are benefits that comes with this. If you are someone who is particular about qualifications, about academic qualifications, right? You might want to go through this route. There's this idea that people have out there that when you acquire degrees, you acquire academic degrees, your employers are going to value you more and can lead to you getting more job opportunities or higher pay. If this is what makes sense for you, you can decide to go through this route. And there are also challenges that comes with it. You getting a degree can be very expensive, and it also requires significant time commitment. And then we all know that people bother a lot, even when I was in school. One of the things that was bothering my mind was that if I come out of school, will I be able to get a job? Because we know that most of what we do in school, to some extent, is the theoretical aspect. When you get out of school, you start doing a lot of practical implementation. And organizations out there, they want people who can do a lot of practical. So, like I said, this particular route is ideal for individuals who have the resources, you have the money to acquire a degree, you value academic credentials highly. This is the route for you. Next step, please. Next slide. Enroll in a short online course or boot camps. Like I stated earlier on, I came in through Secure Intelligence Limited via the CIL Academy route, specifically the Zero to Techie program. When I came in, like I said, I was working in the public health space. I didn't know what all the technologies that I make use of during the course of my program or during the course of my role as a cloud engineer today. I got to learn everything during a short time in the academy. So if you are someone who is not particular about getting a degree, you don't have that time, maybe because you have current commitments, you have a job role, this step is the right way to go. It's career focused. The curriculum is designed in a way that it's more particular about hands-on learning with hands-on labs. There's real life application of skills and knowledge. And like I said, it is designed to meet industry standards quickly. You are being trained that at the end of this particular program, you will be able to apply for jobs. Like all options in life, we have both the pros and the cons. There are challenges that also comes with this. It is intensive and fast-paced because you need to learn a lot. Imagine if people are spending 5 years to take a particular course in the university, and then you are doing 6 months of this program that is going to expose you to virtually all, if not all, of all the concepts that they will do over the course of 5 years. You should be well prepared that this particular program is going to be very intensive and it can be very demanding. It will require you to be able to balance your existing commitment, your existing role with you doing the program and successfully transitioning into tech. Some people generally believe that it is less prestigious than a traditional degree. But one thing I do tell people is that what is obtainable in the world that we are today? Companies out there are looking for problem solvers, critical thinkers, people who can do stuff, people who can solve problems. They are not all particular about your degrees and your certifications. So if you are someone who is dedicated, who is well prepared, who is ready, who is looking for a program, just like all these Harvard Business Executive Program, leadership programs that are designed for him to meet industry standard quickly. Enrolling in a short online course and bootcamp like the Secure Intelligence 0 to Techie program is the right step to take. Next slide, please. The next step to look out for is to create a solid portfolio. You can create a solid portfolio by putting yourself, by working independently or collaborating with friends on freelance projects. You guys can come together, can connect with like minds, work on projects that are being offered by companies or even by yourself. The idea could be amongst yourself. You could also contribute to open source projects. There are a lot of them out there. If you check on GitHub, there are a lot of open source projects that you could contribute to, a lot of frameworks that you could contribute to. And while contributing to all these projects, you are gaining a lot of skill, hands-on skills, right? And one thing I know about all this is that you gain recognition in the tech community. I can remember when I started to delve into tech, I had issues with some of the solutions that I was building, right? I'll go on Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow happens to be a tech forum. I'll go on Stack Overflow, I'll make posts, I will ask questions, people will answer my questions. Then I discovered that over time I was beginning to master some of these technologies. When I go on Stack Overflow, I'll see someone ask a question that I know the necessary answer to, that I know how to solve that based on my experience. I will also draw a question, I'll contribute to society, and through that you get recognized. Capstone projects from boot camps and courses. Try as much as possible to participate in capstone projects. These are the only way you can apply these skills in real world situations. When I was in the academy, we had a lot of projects, right from technical projects down to our final projects. One thing I did was I participated very well, effectively in all these projects. And all these projects, if you check my resume today, if you check my portfolio today, some of these projects are in my portfolio. So these are the ways that you can build a solid portfolio. Next slide, please. So what are the other relevant steps that I feel can help you transition seamlessly into tech? One key step that I've pointed out here is network and connect. The world is a global space. You meet a lot of people daily. You need to look out for like minds, people that you can get a lot of information from, people who post a lot about the field that you have interest in, right? You need to be able to network with people. And how do you do that? You join tech communities, you attend meetups. There are a lot of them in your cities. You participate in forums. I mentioned earlier on how I do contribute on Stack Overflow. That forum has given a lot to me. I also have to give back to it. You also need to be able to connect with professionals. There are a lot of professionals platforms like LinkedIn and a lot of platforms, right, for different tech roles that you could create an account there, reach out to people, seek for mentorship. A lot of people are out there looking for who to mentor. But then one thing you have to have at the back of your mind is that you have to be prepared. If you are reaching out to me on LinkedIn and I go through your profile and I see that this person is not well prepared, I might not extend that hand of fellowship to you. So make sure that you are well prepared. Make sure that your portfolio is solid. Reach out to people, network. I was reading an article, was it 2 days ago, and someone said, I've forgotten the name of that article, but there's this general belief currently that most jobs that people get in tech now, right, is based on recommendations. A lot of people we all know the difficulties that come with the HR process. You could have like over 2,000 people employed for just one role. They have to put in a lot of filters, right? Maybe based on job experience and all that to filter out people. Even after doing all those filtering, they might still have like 900 people for that particular job role. We definitely know that they are not going to call 900 people for interview. So most of the jobs that people get out there now is based on recommendations. So you need to understand, you need to learn and understand the power of networking and connecting with people. You also need to prepare a solid online presence. You can be building, right? Don't build in solitude, if that's the right way to put it, right? Why building? Showcase your work. People want to see what you're doing. Someone out there, maybe you're on LinkedIn, you've created a solution, you've been able to deploy a server, you've put an application on it, you've implemented a lot of functionalities in that application, and then you write an article about it, you post it online, you put it on Medium, you put it on LinkedIn. Someone could be on your LinkedIn looking through it. Someone can even do a normal Google search, right? A well-versed professional that has not made use of that service before could do a Google search, and Google points that person to your article, and this person is like, then it goes through your profile on Medium and seeing that you've written a lot of articles, you're making use of these technologies and applications. Like, we are looking for someone who could fit into this role. I think this guy or this person is someone that could fit into this role. So try and create a solid online presence for yourself, both on LinkedIn, on all other relevant platforms. Next slide, please. Other relevant steps that you could take, you need to apply for jobs and internships. I know that we've been able to get the required skills. We believe that we are set to get a job. You need to look for entry-level positions and internships. One thing you need to understand is that some of these roles, especially internships, could be unpaid. Some of them could be paid. You know where your end goal is. Reach out, apply for those job roles. You need to understand that applying for job itself is a lot of work. You can apply for 1,000 jobs and you're just going to get one response. To get a response calling you for interview. And all these things are not cast in stone. You could apply for 5 jobs and get five invitations for interview. Once you are able to get, you need to put in the work to apply for all these jobs. Once you're able to get an invitation for an interview, you need to prepare solidly for it. Right? You know the stress that went into you applying for jobs. You need to prove yourself. You have a good portfolio. You need to prepare for those interviews. Lastly, one thing I keep telling people is that you need to keep building. We work in a space where technologies that we use every day in our day-to-day operations evolve. You are coming into the tech space, you need to understand that. If you remember when WhatsApp came out, we could send messages, right? You send message to someone, you don't even know if those messages have been delivered. But over time, WhatsApp incorporated functionalities that could, when you send messages, you get a function, you see a notification that this message has been delivered. Later on, they implemented a functionality where you could even see if these messages have been read. There are a lot of things that comes with that. You could write a code, deploy it on a server, and then the dependencies of those code are obsolete. Then you need to do an update or a patch of those codes. So you need to understand that the feed that you are currently, it's a feed. And I'm not talking about just writing codes alone. You can be a UI designer, you can be working on Figma. It's not the way Figma was as at the last few years that Figma is now. So you need to understand that you're in a space where things are evolving. And the more they evolve, the more you need to get yourself, the more you need to get yourself up to standard, right? Up to speed with the evolving technologies. You need to keep building. Next slide, please. So what are the leading tech jobs that we have in the industry today? And what skills are needed for you to excel in the tech space, in these jobs? We've been able to list some of these leading tech jobs. The jobs are a lot, not limited to what we've been able to share sharing during the session. First on the list is cloud engineer. For you to be a cloud engineer, you need to understand a programming language. You need to know what cloud computing is. There are a lot of cloud computing platforms out there. At least you should be able to master at least 2 of them. You need to understand networking. How do computer parts, what's the interoperability of computer itself? How do we make requests to get response? Through which protocols and all that? You need to understand infrastructure as code. As a data scientist, you need to understand statistical analysis, right? Nowadays, people make use a lot of machine learning data science. You need to know that. For you to compete with top professionals out there, you need to understand all these things. Data visualization, you need to learn a programming language, you need to understand big data technologies like Hadoop. Also here we have software developer. As a software developer, you need to know how to write programming languages. Depending on where you work, there are some organizations that will say, okay, this is our organization and this is the language that we use. We make use of C# in writing and developing our applications. Depending on the job you are going for, you need to understand the programming language that you need to master. You need to understand software development lifecycle. You need to understand Git, which is a virtual version controllable software. You need to be able to solve problems. Companies are looking for developers, programmers that are critical thinkers, people that can solve problems. Next slide, please. Cybersecurity specialist. This is a popular role out there now because we all know that you can build your solutions, you can write your code, you can deploy your infrastructures, and someone out there is looking for how they can breach your network, how they can get into your network, destroy stuff, compromise your user data, and that's not what you want. Imagine if I'm able to get into Facebook, I'm a bad guy, I'm able to get into Facebook network, and I'm able to compromise a lot of people's data on Facebook. It won't speak well of Facebook. So as a companies are really looking for cybersecurity specialists. And for you to be a cybersecurity specialist, you need to understand network security. How do you design a network, a secure network? How you can, what is cryptography? What is risk management? Cybersecurity is a very broad space. GRC it does not require you to write code. It's under risk management and cybersecurity. Start talking about ethical hacking, incident response. When you look at next on the list is DevOps engineer. As a DevOps engineer, you need to understand what CI/CD is. How do you deploy things? You start hearing about pipelines and all that. You need to understand automation. You need to understand what cloud platforms are, scripting languages. You need to understand the concept of containers, how containers are being orchestrated using Kubernetes, Dockers, and all that. Another very popular field that people apply for today is artificial intelligence / machine learning engineer. I want to believe that a significant number of us on this call, if you've not, you need to get started with it. I've been making use of all these AI platforms that we have out there, like ChatGPT and your. You know that for you to be able to like get into this field as an engineer where you can build that kind of solution or even something better, you need to understand machine learning algorithms. You need to understand deep learning, prompt engineering. You need to know how to write a Python, a programming language. You need to understand data modeling because the concept of artificial intelligence, you have a lot of data is being used for it. So you need to understand how to model your data and structure it. Next slide, please. And last on the list is the product manager role. I stated earlier on that there are a lot of roles in tech that do not require you to write code. The product manager is one of those roles, and it's a very significant role in tech. They are the ones that interact with the clients, right? They are the ones that plan out how your project is going to pan out. You need to understand market research because they do a lot of planning. So if the client is reaching out to our company that they want to build an accounting application, right? A product manager has to take ownership of that project. They need to understand how to do market research. You need to understand product lifecycle management, strategic planning. You need to be able to plan the right way. You don't want to plan to fail. User experience and design. These are skills that is needed as a product manager. And then you need to understand agile methodologies, which a lot of companies out there are incorporating agile into it as a framework. Next slide, please. So at this point, I think we've come to the end of my own session, and I'll be handing over to Noah Tobiloba, my colleague, to take it over from here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayowa, for that presentation. Yeah, we have a lot of questions. We have questions from David from UK. We have questions from Basira from Lagos. We have questions from Ahmed from Kano, but I have to go through them one by one. So Ahmed from Kano said he talked about the benefits of mentorship. Then he also talked about something called ZTT. He said he would like if you can share more light about that. Over to you, Mayowa.
Yeah, thank you very much, Oluwatobiloba. You talked about the benefit of mentorship. One thing we need to understand in life is that nobody is an island. There are people who have been in that particular field that have been able to excel because someone out there has been able to show them the right way. When we talk about the concept of mentorship, yeah, you could find your own way without being guided by someone, but it could take you a long time. It's more or less as if when you don't plan or you don't research about something. The fact is that when you have a mentor, they tend to show you they've been through this route before, right? They understand what the process is. They understand what you need to know at this particular level. When you are going astray, they can call you back and say, okay, no, this is the right way to go. So when it comes to mentorship, it's something that I believe that we should key into. As professionals, we can mentor people behind us. And also as people that are trying to transition into tech, we should also look out for mentors. Trust me, if you have a mentor that could show you the way, that could guide you, that this is the right way to do this, and you put in dedication and hard work, within some few months, you are already up to speed with what is going on in the industry. You can put out applications for job, prepare well for your interviews, and you get those jobs. And then you talked about ZTT. I want to believe that that's zero to techie program, right? I mentioned it during the call. I was working in public health space for over 5 years in the HIV program, working with international non-governmental organizations. But I discovered that where I was coming from, we had a very solid health informatics department. When I mean health informatics, it's a department where we have both system analysts, software engineers, infrastructure guys, and all. Right, I could see what these guys were doing with our HIV data. I could see the solutions they were building that facility healthcare providers and healthcare workers were using at their own facility. Right, we even built a national data repository for Nigeria where all the data from the HIV program was being reported into, and all this was done via the use of technology. So I said that okay, this I've been in this space analyzing data for a long period of time, right? Let me get into the technology aspect of things. I need to make impact via that route. And that was how I got to know about Secure Intelligence Limited, this the CIL Academy branch, where I came across the Zero to Techie program, I think on Twitter. I keyed into it, and here I am today as a cloud engineer. So that's basically what Zero to Techie program is. Thank you very much. Over.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayowa. I also like to add to that. So zero to techie is actually from ZTT is actually zero to techie. So this program is actually designed to take you from nothing to something in tech. So this program is actually designed for everybody. You don't need to know anything. It's designed in such a way whereby it takes you from not knowing anything in tech, taking you to an expert. And this program is designed in such a way whereby it makes you a world-class expert. See, it's not just that after taking this program, you can only function in Nigeria or only function in Africa. This program is designed in such a way by after taking this program, you can go take a job in Amazon, you can go take a job in Apple, anywhere in the world. This is why we designed this program. And if you also like to know more, if you can check the Q&A section, if you can check the Q&A section, there's a link there whereby you can actually book a one-on-one with us, with our experts. There's a lot we actually want to teach you, but our time is actually very, very short. But if you can book a one-on-one today, the one-on-one actually cost over $10,000. But if you're able to book it today, we're actually going to give it to you actually 100% free. It's not going to cost you anything. So if you like to ask our experts any questions, just click on that link today and book a one-on-one sections with us. Then, furthermore, David from UK asked a question. He said, like, he also talked about the ZTT. He said, what are the costs under the ZTT? So I'll talk about this, and I also like Mayo to also talk about this. So under the cost under ZTT, we have the cloud. We have for the cloud engineering, we have the data analyst, and we also have the front end. Mayo, we also like to talk about this more.
Yeah, thank you very much, Oluwatoyiloba. Just like you rightly stated, I remember that I know we have a lot of learning tracks in the CIL Academy program. I could remember when I came into the academy, it was just two learning tracks, which was just the cloud engineering track and the data engineering track. Over time, the academy has grown. They've been able to add other tracks. Like I think one of the recent tracks that was added is the front-end engineering track. So if you are someone who wants to be a cloud engineer, you have passion about being a data engineer, you are someone who like working on the front engineering aspect of things. I am a product of the academy and I'm doing great things in the tech space. You can also key into that and also join the academy. Thank you very much. Over to you, Oluwatoyiloba.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayowa. We also have a question from Basira from Lagos. Yeah, she talks about how can I get started with this program. If you can also notice, I talk about there's a link in the comment section. If you just click on those links, you can actually talk to us. Then we're actually going to guide you, and we can also recommend which one is actually the best for you because we have several programs under the ZTT. So if you just click on that link now, you can actually book a meeting with us for free. It's actually 100% free. You are not paying anything, only if you are booking the meeting today, because that meeting costs a lot. But if you're actually booking today, you're actually going to get it for free. Mr. Mayowa, is there anything you also like to talk about it?
Yeah, I think from my end, when people see opportunities like this, where they can speak to professionals that are well versed in all these different fields, like I said, one of the issues individuals or professionals have when they want to transition into tech is the fact that they don't even have someone to talk to, right? When you have someone that you can talk to, someone that you can share your interest with, you've been able to see that, okay, these are the 3 learning tracks that has been offered by CIL Academy now. How do you key into it? You're having an opportunity. We are sharing a link in the chat box where you can key into talking to some of our professionals that could guide you and direct you. They've been in this space for a long period of time. They can guide you and direct you that, okay, this is the right track. Based on your interest, this is the right track to go. So what I would just say is that, just like as you have stated, they should click the link, talk to members of our team. They will definitely offer them more information regarding all these learning tracks. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayowa. And about this DTT, this is a program that has actually bring out a lot of testimonial. So you have already see how Mr. Mayowa is there with us, is actually a product of this program. And we also have several, we have hundreds and hundreds of people that have benefit from this program, just like Mayowa. Then benefit from this program, just like Mayowa, then I also like you to take this opportunity, just like Mayowa took this opportunity. Just go to the Q&A section to take advantage on it. Then to the takeaway, yeah, if you go to the takeaway, then if you can actually see, we have there's a link on the screen whereby you can actually have access to some free AWS digital training. And this training is not just for only individual alone, it's also for both individual and both organization. You can just go to that link on the screen to take our free AWS training. Going to the next slide. So make sure you click on the link below, go to the Q&A section to click on those links to book a section with us, and also like to let you know that this webinar is actually recorded. You can always go back to it several times. So if there's anything you really don't understand, you can also go back to the webinar. You can just go straight to our YouTube channel. If you want to use your website, you can just go to www.youtube.com/CIL Academy to watch this webinar on our YouTube channel. Or if you're actually using app, maybe you're using iPhone or Android, you can just go to your YouTube app and just type in CIL Academy to actually watch this webinar. So, and you can also reach out to us through several medium. You can reach out to us through LinkedIn, you can reach out to us through Facebook, you can reach out to us through Twitter, you can reach out to us through Instagram. Then if you have any questions, if you have any things you need clarification about, if you have any things you really want to know more about, go to those links in the Q&A section to book a free one-on-one with us, because this free one-on-one, it's only free for today. But if you're able to do that before the end of today, you're actually going to get it for free. You'll be able to talk to best of our experts. You'll be able to talk to them for free. So thank you very much. We only have short time, but to talk to us more, don't forget to click that link to talk to us, and to also watch this pre-recorded webinar. To also watch it again and again, you can go to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for this webinar. I'm Wainde Oluwatobiloba from Secure Intelligence Limited. I'm an SDR, and thanks for today. See you next time.